Knew about him as a player, but he said in the 10-day recruiting period, they just kind of fell in love with his character, and they knew that he was going to be the perfect fit.
Great bowl game over Mississippi State and went into the offseason.
Their roommates should have good chemistry. Here's a first down run. Jalen Phillips flying in this one reception so far. Try to run it with Hassan Hall to the near side and strung out. Allison. Travis in the backfield as well, and it's a shovel pass to the quarterback who shows some strength. They use the wrinkle, and they get the first down before Jalen Phillips stopped him.
It puts a lot of pressure now on Kenny Dillingham to call the plays. Tough way to start the drive.
Pop pass, and miamyoo has swarmed. Jalen Phillips just invaded the backfield to knock Scary Terry down.
It did a good job of that in the first drive. This time, Phillips anticipating it, saw him coming in motion, and I think he realized there's a chance he's going to have the football and makes the play right there. He's a special talent.
Telly's a long way from me. I think you made your point. You ID'd him, and he crashes down. They get a quick burst up the middle, and Corbin does a nice job weaving through heavy traffic. Had too far to go on 3rd and 29. Yeah. An old setup at the 39. It's a reverse, but retreating and dropped all the way back to the 40 is Travis. And the ball's out. A turnover for Florida State. A disastrous play. One play after they were given a gift.
Fella number one. Watch him in the middle of their defense. For a defensive lineman, the awareness right there. He, instead of chasing, he sees the quarterback, Travis, coming his way and aborts where he was headed and makes the play right there. And that's just obviously a mistake by Jordan Travis, just throwing the ball up there. And how about the athletic ability by Jalen Phillips?
The last Miami drive, and now the Tigers' third possession. Lawrence rolls out, chase, and he'll be spun down. That's Jalen Phillips. That's his first sack of the season, misleading them. He's made a big impact in the 4 games.
What makes him so unique is his hands and then his relentless effort and attitude. The tight end, Allen, trying to keep him out, but you can see.
And let's see if he goes for it all or if he just tries to get out of his own end zone for a punt.
Miami showing pressure. They bring it. Vincent Davis tries to run through it and can't do anything. Still on his feet as he was dropped back, but it's just going to mean he gets hammered again.
Yeah, and interesting. Yeah, we talk about forward progress. As he kind of runs forward, you see him get stopped right around that 15-yard line. Then he gets thrown back about 10 yards and never makes it back. So his forward progress, the official right next to you, you can't do it right in front of him. Good call.
Pitt uses a penalty in this drive then to get out of trouble. A.J. Davis just finds 3 yards on the left side.
And they are without him tonight. That's a huge weapon, Tim.
That's a great reminder, Dave, because he's been their most explosive player, and he's been, guys, in situations like this, you know.
Ryerson again, dancing at the line. And he will rush. Hockman is sacked. He's dropped. Jalen Phillips, the UCLA transfer.
6'5", 266. You talked about the two ends. He's able to come inside of a nice little gain.
Be ready for anything. You might have to do something tonight you've never had to do on a football field before.
Goes for coaches, too. We saw Joe Rossi at Minnesota testing positive for COVID-19.
Yeah, you mentioned all the football that's in his family. His dad actually started his playing career at NC State and then before transferring.
He tack off the devastating loss to Liberty a week ago. Team tried to turn the page midweek during practice. The handoff, no Khalil Herbert to start. As Raheem Blackshear's bottled up for a loss of a couple. It was Jalen Phillips that got there first, Kelly, and he lost 3 yards.
See Roche and Jalen Phillips. Watch this matchup throughout the day.
Yeah, we got NFL talent there. And speaking of devil, Phillips drags down Hooker for a sack.
And Phillips actually creates quite the bookend to Roche, and it's one of those guys or the other that typically meet at the quarterback, and that's a tackle in stunt on one side, and Phillips comes up.
You love the balance for Justin Fuente's club. Right down the middle so far. Hooker's going to be bottled up. Jalen Phillips with the initial contact, and he has been very active these last 2 games, Eric Wood. 2nd and 10. Here comes the heat. Hooker's going to be bottled up and sacked behind the 20. Jalen Phillips, number 15, the UCLA transfer. Back-to-back standout games now.
We haven't heard from Roche because of all the attention, but we are hearing from Phillips. We've seen Phillips looping inside a lot, and this time Phillips is just going to run the rail around the edge. And then you're going to have Brooks, the linebacker, kind of on a spy type of blitz.
First down for the Hokies, trailing by 1. This great rivalry dating all the way back to the days of the Big East Conference. Hooker escapes and finally is brought down by Jalen Phillips. Another TFL.
I know it's easier said than done that you cannot take a sack in this situation. Place on the field or multiple laterals to try to pull out a miracle in Blacksburg.
It all comes down to this. Miami brings pressure. We'll lateral it back to Caleb Smith. And that's going to do it. Miami on the road. Improves to 7-1. The final stop by Jalen Phillips. Manny Diaz, all smiles. And the final score 25-24 as the U finds a way to win it at Lane Stadium.
And training camp didn't, help his situation, but they do need him to protect the ball much better than he has.
Trying to throw on second down, but he's going to go down in a heap. And Jalen Phillips all over him, the outstanding defensive end, has been a monster.
Well, and part of what we've talked about with Chase Bryce is his inability to hold on to the football. Being under pressure will do that to you. And Jalen Phillips, who's been really a godsend for this Miami defense.
First and 15 for Bryce. Back to throw, some time in the pocket, but now he comes ahead and he's going to be dragged down. Stopped by Jalen Phillips again.
Yeah, and he just does a nice job here. He basically gets double teamed and does a good job of retracing his steps as Chase Bryce climbs in the pocket. And so you see one of the reasons why, whether it's the long arms, whether it's just his ability to be relentless.
Well, Duke trying to convert another 4th down. And a little pitch here, and they're going to snuff this one out, and Pankole wasn't going anywhere.
He's on the right side of your screen here, and as Duke is trying to run this reverse, look at Jalen Phillips just keep his contain, do a good job of getting upfield, and listen, that's just a smart football play. We've talked about his ability and his ability as a pass rusher. We saw it early in this football game.
Those decisions are exactly why they're here tonight at 7-1.
It's a great point, and taking a chance on number 15, Jalen Phillips, who had been out of football, and it is a dominant player inside once again, and it's Monk who barely gets a hand on him.
Again, shows his accuracy downfield.
First and goal, Howell still got it, and they finally are able to wrap him up. That's the first sack for this Miami defense. The ends, Roche and Phillips making a play finally.
I don't know.
Yeah, 2 running backs to do it. That's even harder.
Well, they just keep running that counter play. Well, why not?